Oh, man. What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Brand new week. I think I'm ready. It's Monday, but it feels a little bit like Wednesday to me. Shout out to everyone. Last week was a frustrating week, man. Overall, it was okay. Technically, it was positive because the weighted record is what the actual record is. I just also tracked a flat record because, for limits, and a lot of people just bet flat. Flat was slightly negative. Weighted was slightly positive, which is just a frustrating week. It would have been a nicely positive week if I hadn't tweeted out two horrible losing picks. Of course, I count the tweets on my overall record as well. So if I hadn't just tweeted out those two stupid plays, I would have had a decently positive week. Of course, overall, the record on the season is fine. Last week wasn't even a disaster. If you break even, that's perfectly fine. That's the important thing is not to go down. You don't want to have a negative week. You don't want to lose money. But if you break even, okay. If you push, okay. Last week was break even. It was just a frustrating week. You know what I mean? It wasn't bad overall. And the show was pretty good. I just made a couple of stupid tweets and then, it was just a frustrating week. It was just a frustrating week. You know what I'm talking about, right? Shout out to Deer Slayer Ski. Shout out to Rich G. Jonathan Nelson, shout out to you. St. Even Michael Madara. Nasty Nate, shout out to you. Happy Monday to you, Kyle Leith. Kyle Leith, I did see the messages you sent me on Twitter. I'm super, super busy. I'm going to respond to them. I am. There's a lot of people I haven't responded to on Twitter just because I have so much shit to do. You know what I mean? I also made a stupid promise to do a video breaking down the Super Bowl. Great. Now I got to keep that promise. Now I got to find time to do that, and not just time to do it, but time to do it well. You know what I'm talking about, everyone. All right. We're going to try to have a shout out to Matt Thurns, Alex Quayle, Rich G. We're going to try to have a RIP Kobe Bryant. I don't even know what to say about that. Huge tragedy. Obviously, it's yet another reminder that nothing lasts forever. Cherish every moment that you have, every loved one that you have, every little bit of positivity that you have. I can't. If it were up to me, everyone would live forever and nothing would end and there would be no death. But it's not up to me. It's just a huge tragedy and there's just nothing really to say. It's massively sad. And that's about it. And a shock. When I first saw it, I was just like, it was one of those situations. I was like, is this some incredibly bad taste joke or is this a horrible tragedy? Turned out horrible tragedy. All right. Shout out to Tasha M. Yeah, Andrew Holiger. Nothing lasts forever. I hope your winners last forever. Yeah, my winners often last less than 5 minutes. But no, sometimes nothing lasts forever. But sometimes an overall winning record can last for months on end, which is wonderful when that happens. Which is wonderful when that happens. Shout out to Ron Lofton. All right, so look, overall the record's been good. February usually is my best month in college basketball, although also whenever I say that I've done something well historically in betting, it turns out not to be true that the next time it happens. So, on the one hand, you have February having been historically my best month in college basketball by far. On the other hand, you have me saying that February has historically been my best month in college basketball, which means that probably this February will be a losing month for me. So I don't know what to think. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully we'll have a fun time in this show in February and a winning record, because if that happens, that will justify the show going on through March. And if that happens, no matter what, we're going to have fun. March is fun for live betting and second half shit. And there's almost always good second half betting value in March and second half games. So shout out to everyone. Okay. So we are going to look at North Carolina and NC State. Of course, North Carolina, I talked about them in their last game. I mentioned that I did bet North Carolina in their last game against Virginia Tech. If you remember, I also took the Virginia Tech under, which team total under, which lost because of, and there you go, UNC winning again. And I mentioned that I thought that UNC, after 5 losses in a row, having a terribly down season, at some point was going to have betting value, maybe starting with that Virginia Tech game. I did bet them there. This game, I did not bet them. I passed on this one because it's a rivalry game. Rivalry games are a little bit iffy. I still want to feel out, UNC right now, but especially if UNC loses this game, which they might not. UNC again, vaguely had, now they've got that big win over Miami. maybe the market will turn on a dime and all of a sudden they'll be appropriately valued. But I still have them in my mind in the vague area of look for betting value with this team going forward. So we'll see. We'll look at the second half when that comes out, and looks like we'll look at the MEAC games, or the 7 o'clock game was off at the right time, so we'll be able to look at the Lehigh American game and the Norfolk State game with second halves, and then maybe we'll look at the 7:30 MEAC games. Maybe not. Who knows? Last show, of course, the MEAC games got off to a late start. And if that happens here, maybe we'll cut it off early. I want to get a head start, a jump on the Tuesday night overnights, which I still haven't had haven't had a chance to look at yet. Interesting games on the card tonight. Oklahoma State, Kansas, right? I thought Oklahoma State was a no-brainer. I jumped on them immediately at 8.5. I missed the opener at 9. It did go down, as I expected, to about 7, but now it's come back the other way a little bit, up to 7.5, which is a little bit surprising. What do you guys think? Or did any of you guys jump immediately on Oklahoma State? Any of you guys staying off this one? Again, as I do with all bets, even bets that I think are just massive value, like I think with this one, I bet size very appropriately. So if it loses, I'll be annoyed, maybe extremely annoyed. But that's the worst of it. It won't get worse than that, because there are no locks in any of this. There's nothing even close to any locks. But I think Oklahoma State has big value here at +8. It's not just that Kansas is coming off of the weird situation with the Kansas State game and then pulling out a win but not cover in their last game. Now they're going on the road, and Oklahoma State, if it were just Kansas playing just some random either crappy or appropriately valued Big 12 team, maybe I wouldn't be so eager to pull the trigger. But I also have a sense that Oklahoma State is a little bit on the upswing right now in terms of, they didn't get a cover against Baylor, but they didn't lose ATS by much. They played them kind of tight. They got a nice road win against Texas A&M in their last game. And that they want to come in here, and if they can steal a win, would not at all be surprised if Kansas, if the back door is wide open in this one. And, I was all over Oklahoma State at 8.5. Wish I had gotten the opener of 9, but, we'll see. It hasn't gone quite down as far as I thought it would, but I definitely hit Oklahoma State. I also hit Idaho at +8. I hit that one. And the Eastern Washington game, I didn't take at all, but it does have second half written all over it, so I'll be waiting for that one. Wisconsin, Ohio is very interesting. Slightly into the under at 137, slightly into Iowa, but I didn't bet either of those. Kind of wish I did, but I didn't. And I took small shots with NCAAB -13.5. That game is already off, but I'll just let you know. And Maryland Eastern Shore at +6.5. Took small shots with those. All right, let's see where the NC State game is. We don't want to miss that one. Still a couple minutes. All right, let's check to see any comments coming in. Jonathan Nelson leaning Oklahoma State, just can't pull the trigger. See, I thought that Oklahoma State was like the super obvious play that everyone and his mom who thinks they're smart, and obviously people who are smart also think they're smart. It's not just stupid people who think they're smart, right? I thought everyone was going to be all over Oklahoma State, similar to how everyone was all over Wofford against UNC a while ago and they lost there. I thought everyone was going to be on Oklahoma State. I took them. It's gotten bet down. I don't know, man. Alex Quayle says, but Oklahoma State's been so bad this year. Overall, yes, sure. And that's why they're not, and that's why you're getting 8.5 or 7 or 7.5 or 8 or whatever the hell you're getting. That's why you're getting that instead of 4 or 3.5, The Texas A&M game looked pretty impressive to me. Going on the road against Iowa State, yeah, they lost ATS, but they only lost by 1. That's not easy to go into Iowa State and hang a little bit tough. Game before that, they were at home against Baylor. Yeah, they lost ATS, but just by 1.5 points. It's just not so easy to hang it. We've seen Baylor. We've seen other teams we thought were going to hang with Baylor get smoked by them, right? I took Baylor's second half, a bunch of games this year with teams that obviously couldn't hang with them. So, Texas State last 3 games overall look kind of impressive to me. Maybe they turned a little bit of a corner. They got a win against Houston. Houston's no slouch of a team. Big rebounding team. And again, Kansas, just not sure that a double-digit win here is a, 50% proposition. I bet no. I could be wrong, obviously. obviously. But I took Oklahoma State, and I assumed that everyone and their mom would be on it. But maybe that's wrong. Let's see. Shout out to everyone in here. Let's see. I'm looking for comments here. Okay. Rich G says pass game for me. I still think Kansas can cover. They can. Of course they can. Question is it a 50%? Is it a 48% proposition? Is it a 45% proposition? We'll see. Jesse Nemeth, Oklahoma State makes me nervous. Yes. Anytime you're taking a home dog of 8.5, by definition, probably you're doing something that makes you nervous. Boston Nick, Oklahoma first half +4. Sure. I didn't. I just took the full game at 8.5. There you go, Chris Barr, Video Game Store vlog. Shout out to you. Yo, what up, Pete? Carlos Baroj, I like the Wolf Pack. Carlos Baroj says Wolfpack second half. They're playing tough. They're playing tight. All right. So, Noli knows. Shout out to you. Christopher Comatini. Can't trust Oklahoma State. Wow. Okay. A lot of people scared to bet Oklahoma State, which is understandable. Of course you're going to be scared to bet Oklahoma State. I was scared to bet Oklahoma State. I did it, though. You know what I'm saying? Not because I'm like they're definitely going to cover, but because I think it's a 54, 55 maybe % proposition. I bet it pretty big. All right, let's see what we got. Is the halftime here yet? UNC. All right, it's coming up. All right, let's look at that. Let's look at that first before we decide what we're going to do with the MEAC games. We might make this a very, very, very short show and just debate Kansas, Oklahoma State a little bit more. And then, I also took Idaho +8, and they're a shitty team. But I took them. All right, we'll discuss that in a bit. We got NC State. It's coming up here. Let me just pull up my sheets here because I do have some sheets once again. Oh, man. Huge shout out to everyone who makes this show so much fun for me to do. And that's all the pressure. That's why I feel so much pressure to give you fucking winning picks, man. Which overall I've done. But last week was break even, which is okay. But it's just frustrating. I didn't sleep that well this weekend because of it, you know? All right, let's see what the lines are. Let's see what we got. Let's see what's going on here. NC State. NC State's probably going to be like a 6-point favorite here. Let's see what we got. NC State and UNC. I'm not seeing a line out yet. Interesting shit here. NC State's probably going to be 6.5, something like that. I don't know, man. At those lines, I can run my numbers without the line. I can just plug in a 6 here. If NC State is 6, yeah. If NC State is 6, look, I'm just telling you what the numbers say. So it's the exact same situation with St. Peter's on Friday, and that was a loser. But if NC State is -6, my number's like North Carolina a little bit. Let's see what the line is. Here we go. 6. There you go. The line is 6. And total is 80. My number is like North Carolina just a little bit. I can't take it or recommend it as a play, and I'm not going to bet it. But I will share with you that my number's like North Carolina. I'm going to note it on my sheets here, but I'm not going to bet it because, yeah, reminds me of the St. Peter's game. And there's another bunch of analysis that I want to do that I'm not that I haven't done yet, but there's something specific I'm looking for, and this game falls right into that category that I've sort of circled in my results, which makes me nervous. But the numbers do like North Carolina. I'm not going to bet it, but they like it. Total, they like nothing. The number's freaking like North Carolina +6. But it was the exact same situation with St. Peter's on Friday. I gave that one out. I bet it. I'm always reviewing what my results are and what my process is and everything. And the St. Peter's game made me feel nervous, but I pulled the trigger on it and sort of turned out the way I was fearing. So I'm going to hold off here. I've shared some of the, subcategories of situations that my process right now is particularly good at and particularly questionable with. I've already told you there's some situations where it gives big money lines. The numbers say some of these big money lines have value, and looking at the body count, they don't. Home dogs that outperform in the first half. My numbers seem to be overvaluing their likely results in the second half, and certain teams such as Evansville and others, and Elon, it overvalues. So I'm going to look into that a little bit more. This situation is also one that makes me nervous, and I'm not going to pull the trigger despite the fact that the numbers say UNC has a little bit of value. Maybe we'll find some of the minor. There's 2 minor games, halftimes coming up right now. Maybe there'll be something there we can hit. We might end this show very, very early. That's okay, because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are going to be the usual long, intense, enjoyable anyway, but long and intense shows. So maybe we'll just maybe we'll just call this one a day early, especially since the MEAC games appear to be starting late as usual. Let's look at Lehigh and American, though, when that comes out. We will look at that one. And maybe we'll just shoot the shit for a few minutes before we call it a night prematurely. Again, you cannot force it. I don't know if I forced anything last week in the shows. I probably did just a little bit. Forcing it is just a bad idea because you will get burned. And then in the end, you'll have to say, well, there wasn't really my record because I forced it. And then people go, no. Whether you forced it or not, that's your record. And then you have to admit, yeah, you're right. That is my record. So I'm not going to force it, right? Because my record is 100% honest, which is rare in this industry, right? Appreciate it. Jesus fucking Christ. So many fake records flying around. I got to compete with that. You know what I mean? I got to compete with these people. Fucking I'm putting up like 5-6% ROI. They're putting up this and that and this and that. The difference is mine is fucking religiously accurate. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not even implying that anyone has a false record. I'm sure all the records are accurate. I just assume they're false because they're better than mine. All right, let's look at this. Let's see if we can find some betting value here with the Patriot game. Lehigh against American. Oh, no, Florida A&M is what I'm seeing here. Let's see what the numbers say. Florida A&M. Run some numbers here. Damn it. Nothing really. Small lean to the Norfolk team total under at 35.5. Small lean to Florida A&M plus a half, but low confidence. Regular viewers of this show know that there's confidence numbers attached to what I do here, and I like to see a decent, normal, healthy confidence number. Sometimes, the numbers that get spit out imply betting value one way or the other, but with low confidence. And that is also something that makes me nervous and uncomfortable. In the end, it is a bit of an art as well as a science. I've repeated that many times. All right, so small lean to Norfolk State team total under 35.5, small lean to Florida A&M plus a half, and even a small lean to the Florida A&M team total over at 35. Yeah. Florida A&M over 35, Norfolk under 35.5, and Florida A&M plus a half are all what the numbers say. me just look at something here. Do have a little bit of time to look at something once again with very few games on the card. Yeah. All right. I'll make Norfolk State under 35.5 team total a small play here. I bet it. It's small or medium small. We'll just grade it small. Norfolk State team total under 35.5, just graded small. I bet it small. Also, Florida A&M plus a half. Has a little bit of value according to these numbers. And Florida A&M over 35, according to these numbers, has a little bit of value. Yeah. I'll make that one a play too. I bet it. Florida A&M over 35, also graded small. Chances are those will go 1-1. Hoping that they both cash, though. Norfolk State under 35.5, graded small. Florida A&M over 35, graded small. And Florida A&M plus a half is not a play, but that is is also something that the numbers like a little bit as well, as you would assume, if it likes those two team totals. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's see if the Lehigh and American. I just want to give out a couple plays. Those are, I mean, if those plays lose because they're graded small, it's, not a huge disaster. Because even though I track the flat bets, of course, the weighted result is what's more important, of course. Okay, Lehigh and American, -3 and 74. Let's see if we can find something solid here. Lehigh and American. What are the numbers like? Well, small lean to Lehigh at +3, according to these numbers. All right, I'll make that a play as well. Lehigh +3, official play. And this one is pretty solidly medium small, according to the numbers. According to the numbers. It's actually medium small, borderline medium, according to the numbers. Could be medium or medium small. It's definitely an official play. I definitely already bet it. I don't want to get off to a bad start in this week. But the numbers kind of like it a decent amount. Let me just check. I just want to decide whether I want to grade it medium, small, or medium. It's already an official play. One of those two. I just want to look into a couple numbers here very, very quickly. Make a fucking decision here. Make a decision here. Yeah, not bad. All right, I'll make a graded medium. Graded medium, Lehigh +3, graded medium. Lehigh +3, medium or medium small, but I decided to grade it medium. Again, Florida A&M over 35, small. Norfolk State under 35.5, small. Florida A&M plus a half, indicated as a bet, but I'm going to stay off it. Lehigh +3, graded medium. And very slightly into the over as well. I mean, the Lehigh team total over. And both teams over, actually. Yeah, it was 74 earlier. Now it's 74.5. Missed that one. Slightly into the over and the Lehigh team total over. I'm just going to look at a few. We have the luxury here of a minute or two. This is what we do on Mondays. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, not so much. We're making much quicker decisions. But we do have the luxury of looking into numbers a little bit more in depth on Mondays and Fridays. Yeah. Lean to the over at 74.5. The numbers say it's a justifiable play. And the Lafayette team total over as well. Numbers say it's a justifiable play. But we'll hold off on that one. Let me just mark some things down here. Just running some numbers here. See, normally I'd be doing this just by myself. Wouldn't have to worry about providing entertainment value, dead air, all that crap. All right, that's it. Pass on the total, even though the numbers like the over, and particularly the Lehigh team total over at 36. All right. I guess that's it. Let's look at the comment section here. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. Let's see. Records are false and garbage. You damn Skippy, J Bond. You damn Skippy. Unfortunately, my record last week, flat bet, minus 0.4 units and minus 1.1% ROI flat, is an accurate record. Slightly positive with the weighted grading, but still frustrating. Shout out to Deer Slayer Ski. Shout out to Nasty Nate. Leonard Porsche Jr. says, no, shout out to you, Pete. No, Leonard Porsche. No, shout out to you, Leonard Porsche. I double negative to the reverse shout out to you. Hell yeah. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Oh, Crypto Capper putting NBA prop bet tonight. Yeah, listen, I don't even look at NBA right now, but I know that people who have a good read on NBA props are killing it this year. Crypto Capper may be one of them. Alex Quayle. Pete, do you have any teams you're high on for futures right now? You mean in college basketball, Alex Quayle? I don't really think of in terms of futures, but I do think in terms of expecting them to be a little bit over or undervalued in February. I've been talking about Nebraska all year long. I'm not sure. I'd have to run the numbers to see exactly what my opinion is of Nebraska right now. But in general, I'd be thinking of that. I can't even remember any of the freaking teams. I'd have to look at the standings to remind myself of all these fucking teams. But let's see. What other comments are here? Yeah, everyone was talking about Chris Barr says Kansas is a trap tonight. Oh yeah, Kansas is a trap tonight. I mean, I'm on Oklahoma State. I thought the entire fucking world would be on Oklahoma State. So I wouldn't call him a trap because I would have expected more people to be on Oklahoma State, but apparently maybe not. Okay, let's see. Other comments coming in. Flick my Bick. Shout out to you. Ron Lofton, I'm good with UNC right now. Yeah. UNC pregame. I was leaning that way. Didn't pull the trigger on it, but I wish I had. Let's see. Matt Thurns, I'm from Nebraska. They are fucking terrible. Laughing my ass off. Yes, they are terrible. And that's why you're probably going to see some healthy underdog numbers attached to them, right? Who's an example of a team like that right now? Howard, right? Terrible team. Covered 4 out of their last 5 or something like that. You know what I'm saying, Matt Thurns? They also have a coach that I like. They also have a young sort of roster that is, that might gel a little bit towards the end and cover by a few points some of those spreads. I'm talking about like, whatever, 16, 18-point dog, they lose by 11, stuff like that. I'm not talking about they go in and upset Baylor and win the conference tournament and all that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting undervalued specifically because they're fucking terrible, right? That's what I'm thinking about. Maybe not, though. We'll see, because this market, of course, is maturing every week. So who knows what the hell is going to happen. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Rich G says keep an eye on Dayton, but they're not gonna creep up on anyone. I'm assuming that most people are expecting Dayton to make a late run. I don't think Dayton is gonna be a team that anyone is gonna say is undervalued heading into the tournament or even in February, right? They're getting a ton of line respect, and as justifiably so. But they're not under the radar. That team, they're deep. They're efficient as hell. The stats love them. The analytics that I've seen fucking love them. They're not creeping up on anyone. At least not anyone who's betting on sports. Maybe casual college basketball fans, sure. But as far as the market is concerned, we'll see. I think if anything, Dayton's going to be overvalued in February because they're just going to start getting a ton of line respect. We'll see. Let's see. Carlos Perot. Joe Beat, you look at the NIT tourney. Of course, Carlos Perot. You kidding me? I like I used to like the minor tournaments more than the NCAA. Now I'm not so sure because the market has sort of adjusted to what a lot of people are looking at. And I think a lot of people are looking at what I used to look at. And I don't think those necessarily tendencies are necessarily still going to be around this year. But of course, I look at the NIT. Absolutely, the NIT is a little bit unique because it's not an absolute pig tournament. So you have there's a lot of weird motivational stuff that goes on in the NIT that you don't really see in the minor tournaments. So the minor tournaments are just like whatever. People are just like running up and down the court, having a good time. The NIT, there are some very, very stark discrepancies in motivation. Kind of similar to bowl games, but even more so. Like there are some teams that go into the NIT like really, really looking to make a statement, and other teams just piss the F off, So yeah, I like the NIT. A lot of times you can get 8.5-point favorites, a motivated team going up against an unmotivated team at home, and they should be 20-point favorites. So because of the year-long statistics, they're obviously not going to be. So yeah, I love the NIT for sure. Boston Nick, just bet my mortgage on your medium bet. Great. That's the dude who knows how to trigger AIPP in a sufferer. He's just jabbing me now. He's just fucking with me. That's okay though. I have AIPP. I put myself out there knowing I have AIPP. So I know that I am going to be a target to anyone and everyone's poking around. Jay Bond says, Pete, you are the best. Shout out to you. No, you are the best, Jay Bond, along with the other happy few who are watching right now. It's a tie for first place in terms of the goodness charts. Jay Bond in a 39-place tie with the other 38 people watching right now, including Jesse Nemeth, Leonard Porsche, Boston Nick, and Carlos Peroj. All right, and Alex Quayle. All right, I guess that's just about it. Let's see. No, I know you're kidding. Boston Nick. I know you're kidding. All right, yeah. We could sit and wait for the other MEACs, but this is going to be minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. Sacramento State, Northern Arizona is an interesting game that's already gone. I have no bet on that one. It's obviously a revenge game for Northern Arizona, and that game definitely has second half written all over it. Maybe I'll tweet it out, although I've been fucking jinxed with my second half tweets recently. But that definitely has second half written all over it. Maybe I'll tweet something out. Iowa, Wisconsin probably doesn't. Eastern Washington, Northern Colorado definitely does. Again, I took Idaho. I took Oklahoma State. I'm just sharing with you what I did. Doesn't mean you should do it. Doesn't mean they're positive EV bets or positions, but it does mean that it's what I did. And I guess that's it. I think we can wrap this show up early. See, there you go. Look at that. Maryland Eastern Shore. I took them plus 6.5 way up early. North Carolina A&T. I don't know if that Delaware State is a particularly bad second half team, especially against a team like NCAAB. If this game is like within 4 points at the half, I might be looking for NCAAB on the second half there. I bet NCAAB at 13.5, and I'm not too concerned that it's only a 4-point game from what I'm seeing right now. I took Maryland Eastern Shore, which is great to see. UNC extending out to a lead. All right, we'll see how it turns out. Norfolk State winning. That's not good. All right. Let's not beat a dead horse. Let's not keep this going. Let's not overstay our welcome here. We'll be back tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night for 3 intense sessions of digging for second half value in college basketball. And then we'll do it again on Friday, which will be a kind of brain dead, relaxed, either in a good mood or a bad mood, depending on how the week goes. Digging for second half value on the Friday card. That's it, right? I'll just look for any final comments, any final questions. Tasha M, thanks, Pete. Sure, no problem. You're welcome, Tasha M. Matt Thurns, Pete, you use KenPom with your analytics. That's an interesting question, Matt Thurns. No. I'm aware of KenPom, though, and the market tends to, in my experience, and I haven't checked this recently because I haven't checked KenPom recently, actually, but for years, the market was an excellent, indicator and predictor of what the lines would be. Not of where the value was, but the market definitely used to follow KenPom very closely. And I stopped following KenPom like, a year ago, and I should. It's obviously a great site. I used to follow them religiously like everyone else did. There's a bunch of other, sites that I look at now. I should look at KenPom again, though. I should look at them closely for sure. Great site. I just sort of took my eye off of them for a season or two. Let's see. All right. Leonard Port says, see you later. But yep, that's it. Let's wrap up the show early. We'll be back tomorrow. Check the Twitter post for the time. Thanks, everyone.